We're at Daf Daled and Beis. We're up to the fourth quarter of Daf Daled, which is in the two dots, about a third way down. But this is the final quarter, so we'll go to the end. Omerma, we said yesterday, Kaya Kriyashma, when we said in the Brisa that Chazal expect a person to come home at night and say Kriyashma and then daven. The Gemara says, and this is a proof. So Rabbi Yochanan Shita, Dam Rabbi Yochanan, Eizu ben Olam Haba. Who is a ben Olam Haba? One who is considered part of Olam Haba. One who will go to Haba. Zeh Gula Tefillah. If he puts the Gula, mentions Gula before Tefillah, Sha'arfis. Rashi explains the concept of Smichus Gula the Tefillah is as we find in Tillim. David Melch says, Hashem Tzuri V'Goel. Hashem is my Redeemer. And the Pasuk says, whatever, something like Yanka Hashem B'Yom Tzur. And then we can say, Hashem will answer me in my difficult time. So the Gemara in Brachos explains that if you're not Saimach Gula the Tefillah, so it's like you're not gonna. It's like the Melech, the Oivosh Melech. The friend of the Melech knocks on the door, and the Melech comes out to see who's there, and then he runs away. So to here, when we say Gula, we're Mekarev Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and then afterwards, this is the opportunity, the correct time to Yant Hashem B'Yom Tzara, to request from Hashem our needs at the time that we have it. We create this connection through recognizing the Geula comes from Hashem. So that's the opinion of Yochanan. That so too in Kriya Shema Sha'arv, also in the night, in the Tefillah Mariv, so there is a concept of being Soimech Gula the Tefillah. And we'll see what difference it makes whether it's morning or night in a minute. Ibn Shuman Levi says no, it's not true. There's another concept which is more important. Tefillah be'emtza tiknu. Tefillahs work in a way where the tefillahs are sandwiched. That means we say in the morning, we get up, we say Kriya Shema, we daven Shacharis, and it comes night. Again we say Mariv, we daven again, and then we finish up with Kriya Shema. So the tefillahs are between the Kriya Shemas. That's how the day goes. So the Gemara explains, what is this disagreement based on? Iboy say there's two options. Iboy say Kriyas and Svara. Iboy say Svara. We'll start with Svara. Rabbi Yochanan Savar Geula mi'utanami have that the Geula, the original Geula of Jewish people from Mitzrayim, also is considered to have begun at nighttime, and therefore it is a zman of Geula. And it's true, the full Gula was in the morning, but the evening is also Zman Gula. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says no. Since the real Gula was in the morning, so that is not even. Therefore, it's not considered to be a Gula Malyosa. It is not considered to be a Zman Gula, and there is no concept of Smichus Gula Tefillah. That's the first explanation. The second explanation, it's all based in Pasuk. And now it's actually a disagreement in interpretation of the same Pasuk, because it says same Kriya Shema, and when you lie down to go to sleep, when you wake up in the morning, so what is equated with what? Rabbi Yochanan suffered that when Makish, the Shchiva, the Kriya Shema at night to the Kima. Ma Kima Kriya Shema v'achach Tefillah. Just like when you wake up, you say Kriya Shema, and then you daven. Also, when you go to bed, Av Shchiva Nami, its same order follows. Kriya Shema, and then Tefillah, achach Tefillah. And Rabbi Shimon Levi disagrees, and he says, Sofer Makish, the other way around. Shchiva the Kima. Which is, how is that? Ma Kima, in the morning, Kriya Shema is Samach L'mitosai. Afshriva nami Kriya Shema samach l'mitah. So we look at it differently. We look at it in the morning. So it's Kriya Shema next to waking up. as soon as you get out of bed, you say Kriya Shema, and then you daven. So too, when you go to sleep, so put the Kriya Shema before you go to sleep. So therefore, there's no inyan of Geula to Tefillah, because the correct order is Tefillah and then Kriya Shema. In fact, Gemara asks a question now. Mosama Berei Dovina, we learned in the Mishnah Be'erev, Shtayim Lefaneha, Ushtayim Lachreha. The Kriya Shema Sh'arvis. So we make two brachas, as we do, two brachas before Kriya Shema, and two brachas after Kriya Shema. We say Ashkiveinu, and also Gal Yisrael. So two separate brachas. So Iyam les boy lismoich alachasavakulu tefillah. The boy lemay Ashkiveinu. We're interrupting with the bracha of Ashkiveinu before we say Shemona Esrei, before tefillah. So how can you say you're Saimech Geula to tefillah? Yishlama, the bracha of Gal Yisrael, that's Geula. But Ashkiveinu is not. Ashkiveinu is a tefillah that we say that Hashem should protect us, Hashem should guard us, when we go to bed, Ashkiveinu. So where's the Geula tefillah? Kasha and Rabbi Yechanan. More answers came into the kingdom of Ashkiveinu. Once it was instituted, there's a concept Geula Arichtadam. When a tefillah is added to the basic structure is Geula, and we add another point, which is similar, which is along the same lines as Ashkiveinu, we're asking it is somewhat connected. So that's what we try to explain. Therefore, it's Geula Arichtadam. It's considered an extension. And therefore, this is a rule in defining what's called interruption. And therefore, halachically, this is not called an interruption. Now, I'll prove to you, because you have the same question. Everybody agrees. It's accepted according to both Rabbi Yechanan and Rabbi Yeshua that in Shachris you need to have Geula Samach L'Tefillah. And yet in Shachris, what do we say? We start off Shemona Esrei, Hashem Sosai Tiftoch. And B'Soif we also say, we say B'Soif, this is not the question, but B'Soif we also say Yilad Tzoi Mufi. That's what Rabbi Yechanan said that. Rabbi Yechanan himself said that. So where's the smicha? It's interruption. And what's the answer? The concept is, and also Kevan, Ditakinu Rabbanim L'Meimer, Hashem Sosai Tiftoch, Ketvila Arichtadam. Once it's instituted and it becomes part of the process of tefillah, it's part of the tefillah. It's not an independent tefillah, something which stands in itself. It's called tefillah arichta. So here also, once the Rabbanan say, once they introduced Ashkiveinu, and they made it part of the process of the Brachos Kriya Shema, so it's also Geula Arichtadam, it's extension of the tefillah, and that's okay. And that's the halacha that we do. Tosfos points out. So how does this work? If tefillah, especially if tefillah is optional, marav is shus. It's called shus. Even though we should explain, shus doesn't mean really optional. Shus means it's not the level of obligation that exists in the other tefillahs of mincha, shachas, and mincha. But since it's shus, we can hear that maybe you don't need smicha l'gula tefillah. That's the chiddush by marav. So Tosfos says no, we do. It is halachically considered within the realm of rishus, but nevertheless, Rabbi Yechanan does say that even though it's rishus, you still, if you want to do it right, you still always need smichas gula with tefillah, even by marv, and that's what we paskin. It's not as quite as chomer as shacharis, but also it's also should be and is somewhat required to have also smichas gula tefillah by night. The Gemara continues. If you say tila davar, which is ashrei, as we say 3 times, muftachu shabbat mahaba. That means to say, if it's said properly, the way that we say it twice in shachris, we say it once before mincha. So that's the Forshim explained, the poskim, that's called ben onam haba. We say at the proper time with the tefillas. This is ben onam haba. So it's actually a shaila in the Magen Avraham if you're allowed to say Ashrei after Mincha or not. It's not you're allowed to. It would seem to be that would be the nafkamina whether the Shlish Pamim Muftach Shem Rabba is applicable. The Magen Avraham does say you would say in any way, no less than reading any parak of Tehillim, you could say after Shmona Esrei. But preferably it should be said before. So the work says, what is the great advantage, the great mile of Ashrei, my timer? Because it contains the Aleph Beis. It's each pasuk is based on Len Aleph Beis. So we have also the Ashrei Tmei Derech. We have the Perek in Tehillim Ashrei Tmei Derech, which is also B'Tamnei Abed, which has 8 repetitions of each pasuk with Aleph Beis, which is even more powerful. Elam Mishum T'Yispei, because it contains the pasuk of Parnasa, of Hashkacha Protis, B'Seach Ez Yadecha. So we have Halagodo, name of Halagodo, name of the Perek in Tehillim, we say, as we say in Shabbos, and Shabbos and Pesach, Halagodo, which is Noisim Lechem L'chol Basa, which is also Hashkacha Protis, Parnasa, and Mishum T'Yispei Talti. So Ashrei has an advantage, it's both Aleph Beis, and it has also B'Seach Ez Yadecha. Now we have a kasha. You say Ashrei's whole mind is Aleph, but if you notice in Ashrei we're missing the pasuk of Nun. Where did the Nun go? So the answer is the Nun is something we don't want to mention. The Nun symbolizes a concept we want to avoid saying if we don't have to. It has Bapalosa Shosei Yisrael, which really means the falling of the Jewish people. The Ksiv Nafla pasuk says, They could fall in a way that they can't get up. And in Marava Mitalzi Lehochi. Now the Rava tried to interpret the pasuk in a more positive way. Nafla, they'll fall, didn't fall. They won't continue to fall. Kum Sulas Yisrael, they will get up. Never, even though it's the pasuk Nun is skipped, David actually hinted to it in a different way. In the next pasuk, Saimech Hashem holds up. He's Saimech the Chol HaNoiflim, to all that fall. So it's not. There's no special pasuk of Nun, but it's hinted to in the pasuk of Samech, the pasuk follow. Another name from Elazar Avina. Gova Mashin Nemar b'Michoel. We see Michoel, what it says about Michoel, the Malach Michoel, is greater Yosef Hashem than the Malach Gavriel. When it speaks about the movements of Michoel, it says he was Yoaf. Rashi says he flapped his wings and he flew just one little flap of the wing, one movement. I saw him in a vision. He had to do a double flap, a double movement in order to accomplish what he needs to do. So you see here that Michal, which we find in the Gemara in Avodah Zarah represents the Jewish people, is more powerful than Gavriel. And how do we know? Excuse me. My mashma. How do we know? Echad Michoel. Now, there's no name in the first pasuk. Echad. How do you know that's Michol? That we can learn out. It says Sivacho v'yof eli echad min asrafim, and another pasuk says Michol echad ashor. Sorry, Rishonim. Bolazreni. Christ says Tana Michol ba'achas. Gavriel b'shtayim, as we said, and Elio ha'arba. He needs more. He needs 4 times. Malach HaMavis needs even more. Needs Shmona to accomplish what he needs to do, which means he's slower. Ubishas Magefa, but at times of plague, of danger, it's Ba'achas. Only needs 1. One more line. Now everything we speak about Kriyashma Ba'arvis in the Kriyashma Beis Knesses, that's one thing, but that's not to be confused. There's another mitzvah. Mitzvah also likroiso amitasoi. There's another mitzvah that we do. We say Kriyashma alamita. And how do we know that? Amr Rav Yossi Makro Rigzo al Tachtoyu Imru bilvavchem al mishkavchem. You should say it on your bed. So then go to sleep. You should say Kriya Shema and then go to sleep.